Sean Callahan, Robin Washout for HuskerOnline.com. Nebraska officially announces Fred Hoiberg, maybe one of the worst kept secrets. Now, it wasn't as big, but as you heard Fred say, he didn't come to a decision officially until Friday, but they make it official here today, Tuesday, and about as cool, calm, collective as I think we expected.
Yeah, and that's what Fred Hoiberg is. I mean, he is a pro through and through. You saw it just with his overall demeanor, how he answered questions, how he posed for pictures. I mean, the guy is every bit of a high-level elite college basketball coach as you could possibly get, and he means business. And obviously, he was funny, engaging, but also he was pretty clear that he's got a plan, and he's got already the wheels kind of going in motion, still trying to work out, figuring out his coaching staff, but he met with the players. They're already doing work on the recruiting front. He said on tomorrow they're going to go hit the road already to try and see some in-state kids this week as far as the 2019 commits, and also look ahead at some 2020 kids. But this plan did not take long just to get going, and now with it finally the official introductions now out of the way, it's time to get to work.
And we knew he had connections to Nebraska, but to see it kind of in the room, he's like, this is my uncle from Clearwater, and this guy from Lincoln, and this guy from Omaha. I mean, it was really unbelievable how deep his connections go to Nebraska. You could argue that they're deeper here than Iowa.
Yeah, and honestly, you get the sense that was a huge part in him taking this job. Obviously Nebraska has the resources, they have the fan support, they have the money to throw at him, and so there's a lot of appealing factors.
And family.
Yeah, about this job. But I think what really caught his attention was the idea to go back to his roots. Obviously, he was raised in Iowa, and he's an Iowa State guy through and through, but his family, he's got a deep roots here, deep connection with his grandparents, both his grandparents, his parents, aunts, uncles, cousins. His ties are deep here, and I think that was really maybe as big of a selling point as much as anything. He mentioned the idea of pacing the same sideline that his grandpa did. Obviously, completely different arenas and completely different circumstances, but that was a big thing for him. And he's a family-oriented guy, and so to be able to come back to a place where he has a lot of connections and a lot of place, still in his heart, I think that was as much to do with him accepting this job as anything else.
In Nebraska, Robin, they're going to step it up financially with the coaching staff. Bill Moose told me that they'll have $1 million to pay for the 3 assistant coach spots. To put it in perspective, that's right on par with the top in the Big Ten. That's Michigan and Michigan State. Nebraska last year paid just between $750 and about $775 for their 3 coaches. So nearly a $250,000 increase to go out and get some coaches.
Yeah, and again, it's putting your money where your mouth is. Obviously, you knew they had to pay big money to go get a coach of Fred Hoiberg's status, but you also needed to back it up and give him the resources financially to get a staff that he needs to be successful here. Obviously, he has this one guy in Matt Abdelmassi who was with him at Iowa State, was at St. John's most recently. He's kind of his go-to guy. He's going to be the dude that's kind of spearheading. How many visits?
He's already got some visits lined up.
Yeah, apparently the spring game is going to be a huge recruiting weekend for Nebraska. They already have 5 to 6 official visitors lined up. So, yeah, I guess there's some work being done behind the scenes, even though things weren't technically official until Saturday. But they're paying, and they're paying big boy money, and they're going to get big boy results because of it.
Today, right now, 11 players on scholarship returning. Now, a couple of those guys, Thomas Allen's in the transfer portal, Isaiah Roby's going to go through the draft process. What is your best guess on the number of new additions we could see to this roster?
It's really hard to say right now just because we don't know who that is currently on scholarship at Nebraska will be in a couple months. And Fred Hoiberg said as much. It's hard for me to evaluate what this team is going to be until I know what pieces I have to work with. And so the first one, obviously, is Isaiah Roby. It was funny. He had talked with Fred Hoiberg a couple times over the phone before Fred got to Lincoln and then met him officially face-to-face during the team meeting earlier today. Well, he had done some research on his own about that and saw, obviously, Fred Hoiberg's offense and the success he had at Iowa State, but particularly the front court players, the Georges Niang and guys like that who obviously went on to have great careers in the NBA. They fit his skill set to a T with that stretch, versatile 4 who can play, kind of point forward, so to speak. So, really, Isaiah Roby fits what Fred Hoiberg wants as that 4-5 position to a T. And you get that guy as your head coach who was just an NBA head coach 4 months ago to help further your development and help you take that next step without having to risk it all by making an early jump to the NBA. I honestly think that's an appealing circumstance for Isaiah Roby. And so I'm more comfortable now maybe than I was before this press conference about his chances of coming back to Nebraska. Now, obviously, he's going to go through the process. He's going to get evaluations from NBA people. He's going to work out, have meetings and all that. But right now, I would say the chances are probably better that he comes back than otherwise. And then with Thomas Allen, he wasn't here today, so it was hard to get a read on where things stand with him. Obviously, they're going to have further team meetings. I think they're going to have individual meetings on Friday with each player. And so I think we'll probably learn a little bit more about where kind of things stand with him and what this current new staff's plan is for him and how he likes that. But I'm a little less confident there. But with Roby, you definitely feel better than we did 24 hours ago.
Well, an exciting day for Nebraska basketball. Robin Washout and the entire team at Husker Online will keep you up to date with the Fred Hoiberg news. Signing off here for Robin Washout, I'm Sean Callahan with video producer Greg Peterson.